Part 3 of the inventory analysis and procurement system is actually creating another inventory procurement batch, but this time for a different scenario. This time we're going to replenish the goods on our truck that makes deliveries to our customers. So we're going to go ahead and select the truck as the warehouse that we would like to replenish the goods for. And then we're just going to go ahead and click OK. Most of these options really don't apply with the exception of just seeing some additional information like acceleration and so forth on the inventory procurement maintenance screen, which is where we are now. Once it creates the batch, it automatically brings you to the inventory procurement maintenance screen, which is in fact the same feature listed here, inventory procurement maintenance. And then what we'd want to do is we'd like to select the batch that it just created, and we're going to leave the source as the warehouse because that's where we're going to get the goods from in order to replenish our inventory in our truck. So we select the batch and it pulls up and it gives us a message. It says one product that we are transferring from one warehouse to the other does not have enough in it. So if we look at these two columns, source means the source, where we're getting the goods from, how many they have on hand. So in the source warehouse, and the warehouse that we're getting it from is indicated right here, this main, actually has a -2 on inventory, and we want to get 120. Current target indicates what we have on hand currently in the target warehouse, which is the truck warehouse. So currently we have 30 on hand in the truck. We want 120. There's only 2 available in the source warehouse, so that's why that's a flag there. And what we'd probably want to do in this scenario is we can either zero that out, or we can leave it as 120 and just see how many they're able to pick from the main warehouse and bring it over. Okay, so now the next step to replenish the inventory in the truck is, as long as we're happy with these quantities here, and if we're not, we can just go ahead and edit and change any of them. There's no reason why you can't go through, and if you decide you'd like to get a different amount, you can just punch in a different amount, 20 instead of 25, and that's fine. Then what we'll do is we'll go ahead and we'll print checklist, and this actually acts as a pink list for the goods in your main warehouse, and it's sorted by bin location. So here's bin A, bin C, and bin D as we defined it in our inventory system, and it shows you what the quantity is that we need to load into the new warehouse, and then you can indicate the actual pick quantity as the person does it, and then any comments that they want to include as well. Once they go through and they pick all the items from your main warehouse and they load it into the other warehouse, they either ship it. In this scenario, they're really loading it onto a truck, but they could ship it out to a different warehouse if that's the scenario. You go back onto this screen and you indicate how many they actually did in fact transfer. So let's say they transferred all of them except for this guy. They couldn't transfer 120, but they managed to squeak out 10 units. And they have some purchase orders that they needed to receive. So although it says -2, they really have more in the warehouse that just came in that day, and they hadn't received their purchase orders yet. So that's all right. And the other quantities they were able to get successfully. Then what we can do is we can then go ahead and click process, and it says want it transfer. Yes. Now it's doing transferred all the items from the one warehouse to the other. And if we'd like to see a report for the inventory transfer from one warehouse to the another for that procurement, what we can do is we can print an inventory transfer report. Okay, and it shows us exactly what we had transferred. So that's great. We have an audit trail for that. We can close out of that report and that report. And one other thing to point out is that if we close this inventory procurement down and we were to recreate a new procurement for the truck, for the most part, it shouldn't come up with anything except for the items that we shorted. So I think we edited down the first item down by 5, and the one that we didn't have enough on should also come up as well. So we're going to go ahead and select the batch that it created, 121. Okay, and you can see here that it did pull up the first 2 items. We shorted at 5, so we'll pull that up. Over here, we found oh, this is bad.